In Chapter 3, we're going to start in earnest constructing the model that we're going to study in this course. In Chapter 2, we just did a recap of what you would have seen previously, but now we're going to start actually building the model that we're going to study in this course. And so the first thing we're going to do is look at the consumer. So in Chapter 3, we're going to study consumer choice. A quick outline of what we're going to do in this chapter. First, we're going to look at preferences. Preferences tell us how a consumer is going to decide which bundle he prefers. Next, we're going to look at utility, which is a convenient description of a consumer's preferences. So consumers' preferences describe their comparisons between all possible pairs of bundles of goods, and utility gives us a very tractable description of these preferences. So it's a numerical representation that allows us to do calculus, for example. Third, we're going to look at the notion of a budget constraint. So the prices of the various goods and the income that a consumer has limit what the consumer can consume. So how you describe what is available to the consumer is through a budget set. And so we're going to use the notion of a budget constraint to describe that. And finally, we're going to look at how does a consumer actually decide which bundle they're going to choose from that constraint, from that set that is constrained by the budget. We're going to do all of this in a very simple model economy. At a very basic level, an economy is made up of consumers and goods. For our purposes, we're going to restrict ourselves in this chapter to a single consumer and two goods. So for example, think of one consumer who's, let's say, a college student who consumes pizza and beer. So we'll call pizza good 1 and we'll call beer good 2. And this simple model is going to let us understand a lot of important concepts. And these things are mostly going to go through even for more goods. So each consumer is going to consume a certain quantity of pizza and a certain quantity of beer. And if you had more goods, they would consume certain quantities of each of those goods. But again, most of the intuitions we're going to build and most of the modeling we're going to do here, it all generalizes in the straightforward way to more than two goods.